Coming out is a continuous process and typically occurs more frequently for same-sex parents during pregnancy, interactions with the children's school and daycare, at the playground and extracurricular activities, and trips to the stores. Gay and lesbian parents who identify themselves as parents in societal situations are at the same time identifying themselves as homosexual. While same-sex parents are more visible or easily identifiable as homosexual, Panopticism reduces same-sex parents coming out. Panopticism, as a homophobic system of normalization, desexualizes gay and lesbian parents and negatively affects their public displays of affection. Same-sex parents can't fully claim their identity as parents and queer individuals because of their desexualization and internalization of the homophobic panopticon. Jeremy Bentham designed the panopticon as an institutional building in the late 18th century, which would, quote, induce in the inmate a state of consciousness and permanent visibility that assures the automatic functioning of power, end quote. Bentham designed the panopticon as a circle of individual cells with a guard tower in the middle. The guard can see into the cells at all times, while the individuals in the cells would never be able to see each other or the guard. Those in the cells never know whether there is a guard present, but are always under the assumption and fear that one is watching them. Used as a metaphor, Foucault theorized that we live in a society of surveillance, much like within the panopticon. The norms, rules, and laws of society are adhered to, even if police or other authorities are not present or visible. Disciplinary power begins to float freely and seeps into the psyche of society. Punishment and the exercise of power are internalized, and as such, this power is mostly invisible. Drawing attention to one's refusal to adhere to the gender and sexuality norms within a heteronormative society like the U.S. can and does result in severe social punishment. The level of punishment can range from dirty looks and under-the-breath comments to rape and murder. One parent I interviewed stated that she had been raped twice because of her sexuality, and that the goal of a rapist was to make her straight. To combat these types of punishments, there has been an increase in normalization rhetoric. Gay men and lesbians, in particular those who are parents, are promoted as being just like heterosexuals. Showing affection in public can immediately pull back the curtain of performative heterosexuality, because their identity as non-heterosexual is apparent. Quote, some gays and lesbians are being assimilated into a strange form of heterosexual identity, and one that still privileges heterosexual norms. It is a performance of heterosexuality that is particularly oppressive for gays and lesbians, since it involves self-policing and self-regulating of the most innocent forms of sexual affection, such as holding hands or dancing together, end quote. Panopticism as a system of normalization and power influences individuals and compels them to remain within the culture's gender roles, which retains its hold on the normalcy of heterosexuality. Some gay and lesbian individuals have internalized homophobia and the label of abnormality or delinquency. Public displays of affection are limited or prohibited in many cases, because same-sex parents with children are already more visible as homosexual. When surveyed, same-sex parents felt most visibly gay with their family in public. Even when their partner was absent and they were alone with their child in public, there was a 10% increase in feeling visibly gay from when they were by themselves. The more visibly gay a parent felt, the more she or he was likely to police their affection. Although panopticism flows through society at large, the extent to which it is homophobic varies depending on the specific area a gay or lesbian parent lives in. Gregory Herrick informs readers of stigma and sexual orientation that the aforementioned population must deal with, quote, enormous amounts of stress as a result of living in a heterosexist and homophobic society. Moreover, often they are tolerated by society only when they remain closeted, end quote. While gay and lesbian parents can limit the amount of stress they face by remaining closeted, this can also put more stress on them because they're presenting a heterosexual self in public. As stated previously, this is oppressive due to the amount of self-policing and self-restricting on their non-sexual, homosexual behavior and activity.
Created using Powtoon.